Good morning, class. Our lesson for today is typical exam questions, where we use the double angles, the compound angles, reduction formulas, everything in one question. So let's look at our first example. If you look at the sum, the sine 35 degrees and the cos 35 degrees, we can't really do something with them at this moment. But we can use reduction formulas to simplify these two. So the numerator stays the same. And we rewrite tan 225 as 180 degrees plus 45 degrees times cos. Rewrite the 200 degrees as 180 degrees plus 20 degrees. Now for this, I'm going to need my cos diagram. Again, the numerator stays as it is. Sine 35 degrees times cos 35 degrees over tan 180 plus lies in this quadrant, and tan is positive there, so it stays tan 45 degrees times cos 180 plus lies in this quadrant, and cos is negative there, so it's negative cos 20 degrees. I put this in brackets because there's a minus that needs to be multiplied. Otherwise, you might see the times sign, and then you start minusing the two tan and cos functions. Alright, this is a special angle, so I need my special triangle with the 45 degrees. It's 1, 1, square root 2. Again, the sine and the cos as the numerator stays like they are. I can work out tan 45 degrees. Usually they say do these sums, simplify them without using a calculator. So for tan is 1 over 1, and that is 1. Write your 1 because you might get a mark for your answer. Don't just leave it out. The minus cos 20. If you look at the degrees that I already have, 35, 35, what can I do with minus cos 20 to sort of ease in with the 35s? What about cofunctions? Yeah, it changes to minus sine 70. And with 70, can you do something with the 35s? Yes, I can change the 70 to a double angle. This minus multiplied by 1 gives me a minus in front. So it's sine 35 degrees times cos 35 degrees over sine 70 can be rewritten as sine 2 times 35 degrees. numerator stays over. This double angle sine changes to 2 sine 35 degrees cos 35 degrees. And now I can cancel out. These two cancel out, these two cancel out, and I'm left with minus 2. Am I right? Negative 2? 1 over 2. Don't forget that. Okay. Is everybody with me? Can you see how everything fits and tangles together like a cook system? Let's look at example 2. Can I carry on? Now we have fractions which are minus. What is the first thing that springs into your head? LCD. And the LCD will be sine 12 degrees cos 12 degrees. So I put everything on the LCD. Sine 12 degrees cos 12 degrees. What do I need in the first term to get the LCD? The cos 12 degrees. So I multiply the cos 12 with the sine 36. Sine 36 times cos 12 minus. What do you need in the second term? Sine 12. So I multiply the cos 36 with the sine 12 degrees. Now I have a pattern. Sine cos, cos sine. The degrees are the same in the first part, the degrees are the same in the second part. So which pattern does this refer to? Sine. Sine of 36 minus 12. And now I get sine 24 degrees over sine 12 degrees cos 12 degrees. Okay, what is plan B? What can I do now? Yes, the sine 24, I can make a double angle. So it will be sine 2 times 12 degrees over sine 12 cos 12. Now we can expand this double angle into 2 sine 12 degrees cos 12 degrees over sine 12 degrees cos 12 degrees, and we can cancel out. My answer is 2. Any questions with this sum? Can I carry on? Number 3. Now don't look in your notes. Try to do this one with me. This is a typical question. Sine 3 alpha. What can I do? Is it a double angle? Is it a compound angle? You can split it. You can say sine 3 alpha is the same as 2 alpha plus alpha. And now we can use the pattern for compound angles in sine. It's sine 2 alpha cos alpha plus cos 2 alpha sine alpha. What do I do now? What do you see? A double angle there, a double angle there. So we can expand those parts. The sine 2 alpha will be 2 sine alpha cos alpha times the cos alpha plus the cos 2 alpha. Now you have to decide whether you are going to use everything in your sum as sines or as coses or as mixed. Now it's never a good thing to leave them mixed. So I decided let's make it sines. So we change everything to sum as far as we can. So cos 2 alpha will be 1 minus 2 sine squared alpha times the sine alpha. Here we can multiply those two and we get 2 sine alpha cos squared alpha plus. And now I can use the distributive law to multiply the bracket out. This will give me sine alpha minus 2 sine to the power of 3 alpha. What can I do now? Can I add these two? No. Can I add those two? Can I add these two? No. Pardon? You can take out the sin, but then we're left with sine squared there and the cos squared here. Okay, think back to last year. There was an identity. Sine squared plus cos squared equals 1. Cos squared equals 1 minus sine squared. So we can change that into 1 minus sine squared. 2 sine alpha times 1 minus sine squared alpha plus sine alpha minus 2 sine cubed alpha. Again, we can use the distributive law to multiply these in. 2 sine alpha minus 2 sine cubed alpha plus sine alpha minus 2 sine cubed alpha. What do you see now? Like terms. There's a sine alpha and there's a sine alpha. And here we have the cubed ones. So we can add those. 2 sine alpha plus 1 sine alpha is 3 sine alpha. Negative 2 gives me negative 4 sine to the power of 3 alpha. And that's the final answer. Ooh, lekker boy. We can give you a mark for expanding that to this. Then for expanding those and multiplying in. Again for expanding that and multiplying in. And the final answer. 45 rule. Remember in grade 11 and 12, you don't get marks for everything that you do. You get marks for a concept, and you did about 3 or 4 steps, and then you get marks for the next concept. Yes.
I don't understand because the thing we said is simplifying expressions, but didn't we just complicate it overall?
We actually expanded it and simplified it because we can use that now in another part of another question. But usually I have follow-up questions. Okay. This concludes today's lesson. Your homework for when I see you again is exercise 4. I'm still recording. Page 10. Number 1, A, B, C, D, E, H, I. Number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Everything in your notes. No, A means aantekeninge, notes.
So everything. So 5A and B.